Alright guys,
Oh,
welcome back to part 4 of the Void Linux installation guide.
I'm
Now,
falling behind.
today we'll be rooting into the system and configuring some basic
Did we
stuff.
do that last time?
So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go head on over to the Void Linux installation docs, and we just want to copy all three of these because this is a VM. If you're doing on bare metal, you might have to type these out, but this is a VM, so I have the liberty to copy. So I'll just copy this,
Liberty, freedom,
paste it,
fraternity. Reeks of the United States,
copy
where
this,
we are not from. First,
paste this,
So he cannot hear us?
copy
he
this,
can. All of his
paste
viewers
this.
can. Hence the
Now, the
sarcastic
next thing that we're going to
comments.
be doing is we do want to copy the DNS configuration. This should tell our network manager where all the name servers are and a bunch of stuff like that.
Might as well give them
Now,
your IP.
I've already done this because I failed the last episode, so I've already done this. So, but if you haven't, all you have to do is you just have to copy this, type in this command. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to root into the system. You just do root slash mnt slash bin slash bash. This should open up a bash shell in
Root into the
mnt.
system. So
Now,
it's CHROOT.
now the next thing you want to do is you want to configure the glibc locales. Now, this is important if you're doing a glibc installation, but if you're going to be doing a muzzle installation, then you don't really have to do this. So libc locales in slash etc slash default is what we want to edit. We're going to look for enus. We're going to uncomment that. We're going to write and quit,
Uncomment.
clear the screen, and we're done. Now, one more command that you will have to run for this is xvps reconfigure
Sing song
dash f
voice. There you go.
glibc locales.
Instantly dies.
Oops, I think I typed G instead. And there we go, we're done. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to decide on your host name. So for this it's going to be void VM, and you want to echo that into slash etc slash host name.
I don't even remember what this was about in the first place.
Now the last thing that we have to do is, or not really the last thing, we have to add a
More
user.
like the 16th
So we'll
thing.
add a user, and dash m means create a home directory for that user. So I'm going to add a user called sk, and
Skate.
the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to slash etc. You want to edit the slash etc slash sudoers file. Now, people don't generally recommend editing this with a text editor and using vsudo, but well,
So
we are
what?
going to be doing that. So you want to go here, you want to copy and paste this line and replace root with sk. And oops, forgot a space. And we do not
Imagine
want.
using CSS.
Now this is if you're going to be using sudo, if you're going to be, and also if you forget to just do that,
He forgot.
yeah, just do that. Now if you're going to be using do as, this is a different step. You might want to do something like echo permit no log, no pass if you want that, sk
No life.
into slash etc slash doas.conf. And
Con.
we won't really be using doas for this tutorial, or we can be using that, so let me just do that. And
Feels like we are just
that
going
should
around in
work. And
circles.
you might also want to install doas in this time. I don't think that xvps install is going to work right now, but we could give it a try anyways.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, as I thought, it's not going to work. Well, anyways, we can do that later. Now, the next thing you want to do is you also want to you also want to check your system clock. So let me check that with date, and that is correct. That is the right time. So we won't mess around with that. And I
It
think
simply knows the time.
that's enough. Oh yeah, we can also set the password this episode. So we'll set a password for root, and we'll set a
Wheels
password for
password.
scare. The password is bruh. So that's
Oops.
enough for this episode. I will see you guys again in the next episode of the Void Linux installation series. And we'll be
Alright.
configuring our fstab, reconfiguring the system, setting up our, and in the second last
And hopefully
episode,
his GPU gets fixed.
we'll be setting up our EFI boot manager and a bunch of cool stuff.